In this video, we will continue with the array filter method, where we're going to implement it into our chart. So if we scroll down here all to the bottom, we're going to use this, and basically we're going to use above here the same. And the reason I'm doing this video again is because this is always a quite tough one to work with. So having it separate video is always better and easier to follow to avoid the length of it. All right, so let's start. So here, what we need to do here, first of all, we already have the filtered data as to recap in the previous video, and I expect you to have this. What we do need to do is to have extra matching constants that we're going to use, and I'm going to give here the constant for, well, if we want to put in the chart, we have the data, but we need to have the labels, we need to have the color or the background color and the border color all matching. So that's what we're going to match up now. So we call this here filter labels. Then we say here equal blank array. Next one is a constant for filter. What is that? The border equals blank array. And finally, we have a constant. It's filter background color. Background equals blank array. All right, so we're going to fill these up now. So what we're going to do is we're going to create here a for loop. And in this for loop, we're going to assign again I equals 0, which is an iteration. We're going to iterate. Well, and what are we going to iterate is basically this. We're going to loop through the amount of filtered data that we have. So depending on the filtering item here, we have one or the other. So that's what we're going to play around here. So what we're going to do here is we say here the filtered data, or we say I for iteration. And iteration basically means repeating yourself a number of times. So we're going to repeat this a number of times until I is bigger, or we only repeat it if I is smaller than filtered data. This is the filtered data array length. This length can be 2 or 3, so it will repeat itself 2 or 3 times depending on the this statement. And if it's surpasses, it doesn't iterate anymore. And then we say here we increment the I value or the iteration value plus 1, adding it 1 incremental. All right, so we have this now. So the next thing what we need to do is here, basically, we're going to get the index number. So where are we going to search it? Well, simply in the data itself. We're going to search in the data array, which is our original data array. We're going to say here index of, and then what are we going to search for? Well, we're going to search for basically this item here, which is our filtered data number I, depending on what the loop is. So once we have this, we can now start to use this and put it in every other item. So now we say we were going to push a value, which is the filtered labels dot push. And what are we going to push in here? So basically we're going to add now the color or the label name in here. What are we going to put it in here? Well, basically this part here. So we say here the following. We're going to get the labels, because what we want is the labels name. So we say labels, and then we copy this part here. And we put it in here. Once we do that, because this is a number eventually, so we filter that one, or we're going to get the number of the labels. And once we have this, we can do exactly the same for all other items. We can do for border, we do push, and then here, instead of labels, we don't get labels, but we get the constant background. This is background color, and this should be border color. There's a border color with small capitals of a small letter C. So the reason why we do this is because we're constant here. When we started all up here at the beginning, let me scroll up a bit more. You can see your background color and border color small letter C. So make sure you be consistent here. Use this. Don't use this. This will be used only if you want to pinpoint it here. We'll be using it later on. So I will show you after as well. So we got this constant. We will need to get this specific constant, and then we get here again the data items here. Put it in here. All right. So once we've got this, same story here with filtered or filter background dot push. Then here we will say background color, small letter C, because it's a constant. Copy just this part put it in here, just remove that. Alright, so we got that. So now we have this. All what we need to do now is to assign these values into our new canvas here. So basically we have these items, all of these, but we need to put them in here. So basically that the canvas understands to draw them. Alright, so to do this, all we have to do here is go back here on the chart. Here in my chart, data and data set, and then we can say data to assign the new data that is filtered. And we do the same for the labels, which is in data labels, and of course here in the data set, background color and border color with capital C. Alright, so let's do the data first. So we say here, we scroll down here, we say my chart data sets, and this is 0, as I showed you previously in the other video, and then we say data equal what exactly? Well, it equals the filtered data that we have here. So what we could do as well is exactly the same, not for the filtered data, but for the filtered background color. And I realized that I use here filter background color while we have data is filtered with ed, but it doesn't matter so much. So we say here background color with capital C equals background color here, the filter background color. Alright, and then we have here not background but border color is capital C, make sure that's capital C, will equal filter border. Alright, so we've got that one. Final item now is the labels. We have to do that one. To do that, we have to go, instead of the data set, we just have to go one up. Let's scroll back here. Alright, so we are here back. Alright, so we are here. Where are we going? We're going from my chart data labels. That's the one we need. Alright, so scroll down back. We'll just go down here all at the bottom. And here I say dot my chart. And we say data dot labels equal the filter labels. Once we did that, I can remove the console log here, and all I have to do here is say my chart dot update and save this. So once we save this and refresh, we can now see a updated chart, and if we click on that, there we are. So with this, you can go now more deeper with a input value, and that will be probably a very nice one for the next video, where I show you how to use this with an input value. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in Chart.js, check out in the description box the link directing to my Chart.js course, where you can learn everything about Chart.js. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.